The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the June 26th, the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there's having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off early. Send it to Steve at TFNN.com. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day here with a rally. All the U.S. indices that we track are trading to the upside. Dow's up 304, S&P 37, 125 for the NASDAQ 100, 23 for the Russell, 180 for the Transies, 53 for the semis. NASDAQ Composite up 121, 153 for the New York Stock Exchange. Gold's trading off $8, but with inside its profile. Silver's up 37 cents with inside its profiles. Light sweet crude is up $1.28, printed out at 66.20. Now, what I've done here is I've added two additional columns since yesterday. The two additional columns, we always had the daily TD9 count pattern that were in there. D, TD9, hard to read the 9. I've added the weekly, and I've added the monthly. And really because, well, first of all, you're going to kind of see the interesting the predicament that we're in with regard to the markets. What is the message of the markets? Now, when we see 8s or 9s and have stars next to them, that tells us, even in this case here in Bitcoin, but that's a June contract, I think we're trading July, that it is a valid TD9 count pattern. If you've got an 8 out there, so for example, the S&P 500 is bar number 8, but it's not a valid pattern, not the high of the pattern out there. On a weekly basis. If we take a look at the NDX 100, that tells us that bar 9 actually completed last week. So this pattern, and we know that the TD9 counts complete on the bar following bar number 9. That might not be the high or the low of the pattern, but that is the completion of the pattern. So here, take a look at this predicament that we're in. If you look at the weekly time frame chart for the XLK, so we're looking at the number one weighted sector inside the S&P 500, it will clearly complete a TD9 count top on Friday for its weekly time frame. Now, I have no idea what the high is going to be. If price trades above that high, closes above that high for the week, then that pattern gets negated, tells you about a very strong upward momentum move. That would also probably indicate to you and I to expect or anticipate that the S&P will rally into the early part of August, end of July out there. That's just simply based upon the seasonal pattern and based upon the seasonal pattern primarily of the post-election cycle. So we've got a definite TD9 count top that's going to complete on the weekly basis. When we look at the daily time frame, right, we know that when we get a topping pattern on any time frame, that the lower time frames, if it's going to be, if the top is forming, we're going to see those signals on the lower time frames. Well, in the case of the XLK, that would be the daily time frame. There is no topping signal. Even the Rhodes Momentum Indicator pattern, it's now exceeded that. So unless we see some kind of sell-off today in the XLK, always possible, but nothing is looking like that's going to happen. We're in breakout mode. We're above all topping signals out here for the daily time frame. It's saying it wants to move higher. Yeah, we still have that weekly TD9 count pattern that's going to complete this week. If we look at the monthly time frame chart, the month is going to end on Monday. And at this stage here, price is taking out a prior TD9 count top that formed back in July of 2024. Price is trading above profile resistance. No other topping signal. I mean, yeah, there's Rhodes momentum indicator signal, but that needs a bearish reversal candle. So the XLK is saying on a monthly basis, I want higher price. So how do you sum this? We still have to, I suggest, they still have to really be paying attention to those weekly TD9 count tops out there to see if they get traction. What this may be signaling to you and I is that we should anticipate or expect a 1 to 2 week retracement. In the case of the XLK, the gift would be pulling back and testing and rejecting its oscillator and change line. We can see that it recently changed colors, so we know if price got back there. Right now, there is 231 and change out there. If price got back there, tested and rejected it. You'd love to see it do it in a 2-week cycle out there, usually your knee-jerk reaction low, and then that could set the bottom. But we don't know if that's going to take place. It's just something to look out for. In other words, the signal here is intermediate term time frame. Expect or anticipate a top, but I just think it is for a short period of time, and we'll obviously would have to monitor the daily time frame inside the XLK. So it's not just the XLK. If you look at the Qs out here, you're going to see the same. Now you're going to see the same type of pattern, meaning the completion of a weekly TD9 count top. If I open up the daily time frame, you're going to see that we're trading above all resistance here. So we'll just simply open that up. We are even above, so we're at a new all-time high today inside the Qs. So everything on the daily time frame looks good. Now, a bearish reversal candle would confirm a top there. Monthly time frame needs a close on Monday above. It's the Qs we're talking about, 539.15. We're trading above that now to negate its Rhodes momentum indicator topping pattern out there. So we've got that for the SOX. We've got that for the NASDAQ composite, again, on the weekly time frame. Now, in the case of the SOX out here, semiconductor index, it's just going to confirm a TD9 count weekly top today. It will complete that pattern next week out there. Now, markets are not going to top without the semis topping as well, but you can see here on the daily time frame, we're trading above resistance levels out here. The monthly time frame has not made its way up. So, the SOX is nowhere near as strong as the NASDAQ 100 is. The weekly chart is dealing with its, let's take a look at this. So it's Thursday. We got, it's traded into a swing point from July of 2024 monthly. So we're almost at the end of the month, actually. Oh, I don't have the volume. I've got the SOX out here. What am I SOXX is what I need to do for that. So what other signals on a weekly basis? You've got the Qs. You've got the technology sector, the XLK, the NQ, obviously. You've got NVIDIA on a weekly basis, Microsoft. And Cisco is going to go ahead and form bar number 9. So let's take a look at the NVIDIA. NVIDIA at new all-time highs out here. Big celebrations going on. Again, great celebrations, but the weekly chart is the one that has us concerned. Now, that concern could go away next Friday if price closes above this week's high, whatever that is. Again, if you look at the daily time frame, no topping signal at all that's in place out here, but maybe we're just getting ready for a short-term, intermediate-term pullback. Ideally, it would be about 2 weeks, and with price at NVIDIA targeting the 136 level at 155. What else? Nothing else really out here. And now if we look at the monthly time frame, Palantir, you can see, is in the process of forming bar number 9 on Monday for its TD9 count. We don't see any signals on the daily or the weekly, but still respect that monthly time frame TD9 count top out there for Palantir. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We get back. We've got a number of requests that have come in, so we'll immediately go to that. We'll look at Hang Seng, IONQ, CYN, SoFi, TEM, the SOX, ADM, KZIA, MCRB, AZZ, USAS, and hopefully many more. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to look at the Hang Seng indexes for GTE. GTE noticed that we had a 4-day consecutive rally. You can see that out there. And then today was a pullback. Maybe get a 2-day pullback out here with price targeting its oscillator and change line. 24,169.82 is the print on that. That would likely be the buy level. I don't have any kind of a daily topping signal. Now, the weekly is trading into its TD9 count top swing point for March 21st out there. We don't have any volume here, but Hang Seng is not out of the woods until you see it close above 24,874.39. If you do that, then price will start to set its sights on 29,490. That's its monthly TD9 count breakdown resistance level. I see no top on the monthly. I see no top on the daily. It's just that weekly that's dealing with that TD9 count pattern out there. So GT, hope that helps you out with regard to the Hang Seng. And thanks for your request. Next request coming in from Jambalaya, a couple of requests out here. It's a wonderful thing. Let's take a look at the first one. Momentarily, we'll get IONQ up on our screen out here, and IONQ is trading out at 41.27 and has poked itself back inside its daily profile. Jam, the first thing that you're looking for here, and it's got a TD9 count top out here, what you're looking for on the daily time frame is you'd love to see this close above its green oscillator and change line. It has not been able to do that since it formed that TD9 count top. So if it can close above 41.47-ish, make it 41.50, I'm going to guess. If it can close above that, then that would be a positive outcome and suggest that price should rally towards 44.11. The weekly time frame chart that has a TD9 count top found support at its green oscillator and change line. The work to the downside may be over. Price is moving into its weekly TD9 count swing point that did volume of 112 million. This week so far, we are at 73 million. So price moving into it with lighter volume. You've got resistance at 43.85. So even a close above the daily green oscillator and change line, maybe 44.11 could be a stretch. Maybe it's just going to be 43.85. And finally, on the monthly time frame chart, No top, just a consolidation with inside profile, suggesting a run towards 49.89. That's what we've got. We take a look at IONQ. You and others would like to take a look at CYN. So let's pull up CYN, see what it is doing out there. And, wow, it's trading out at 34.17. They cured something. What kind of stock is this? What is this? 34.17. So the charts are a bit difficult to read out here. And I do. Yeah, I can't get anything. So I have no idea what this is, but it's certainly off the bottom. That is for sure out there. And, Jim, I wish I could. Now, it did form a TD9 count bottom. So all I can say is on the daily time frame, the TD9 count bottom pattern went ahead and completed on June the 20th. That low held. And as far as where's this thing headed to, my charts are screwed up enough where I can't even give you a price projection on it. So sorry about that, Jam and Dude, but it is what it is. Let's take a look at SoFi out here. That was the next request that came in. SoFi trading out at 1564. It's 1646. No topping signal in sight on the daily time frame, so this should continue to move higher. Here we are faced with another one of those weekly TD9 count completions on Friday. So if you're in SoFi, again, just like with the Qs, just like in the XLK out there, we have to be paying attention, be observant of today's or this week's high. If anything, if the TD9 count takes hold, look, the monthly's sitting right at TD9 count breakdown resistance. The monthly chart ends on Monday. So we are at resistance on the monthly. We've got a topping pattern that's going to complete on Friday on the weekly. The daily says, I've got no idea what you're talking about. La, 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 I just want to move higher. I think that it does, but maybe what we're going to look at here is also a short-term pullback, like a 2-week pullback, with price perhaps targeting the 14.55 to 15.23 level out there. Now, we could also have the other side of this equation, which is price just simply continues to trade above this week's high, whatever that is, and that would be a very bullish message. The next resistance level for SoFi would be 17.11. So I hope that helps you out, Jam. You also want to look at TEM is the ticker symbol. TEM right now is trading at 67.35. It's running right into profile resistance on the daily chart. It's a sell zone between 64.99 and 67.32. We're at 67.39 as we speak right now. If price can close above the top of its profile, it ought to make a run for its oscillator and change line. Daily time frame, 69.51. If price is able to take out 69.51, we're looking at a move to 79.43. Monthly time frame, not providing us with a ton of information other than we see a series of 2 higher lows. So that certainly is a bullish signal, and 2 higher highs out there. So the weekly, it's really the daily right now. It's dealing with where the sellers are at, Jambalaya. And watch for if it can clear this area, 69.52 would be its likely price target. Duncan Steve inside the Tiger's Den would like to take a look at SOXX. So let's get that up on our screen out here. SOXX is trading out at 238.95. What you'll see here is no daily topping signal with the exception of wave number 7. Now, in order for that wave number 7 pattern to confirm, you've got to see a lower high. So the earliest for that would be tomorrow. On a weekly time frame, you are in bar number 9 of a TD9 count. It will confirm a TD9 count on tomorrow. It'll complete that pattern next Friday. At the same time, the monthly time frame chart is running right up into its TD9 count breakdown resistance level, 240.47. What you're watching for here, Dunk, is you've got the monthly that's up at a resistance point where price could easily turn down. The weekly is surpassing that level where it could turn down, the TD9 count breakdown level, but it's forming a new TD9 count pattern. So what you want to watch for here is really the daily time frame with that wave number 7. That might be the topping signal inside the SOXX, and that would suggest a pullback to first 233.50, below that 229.80, and below that, well, we're going to have to actually take a closer look at the SOX chart. So that's what I see. We take a look at that. Thank you for your request as always. Fletch would like to take a look at Archer Daniel Midland out here. Let's go take a look at, is that Dundermitten? Let's take a look at ADM out here. It's got a TD9 count top that has led to a consolidation with inside its profile. That's between 52.22 and 55.05. Support has held. The bottom might be in on that. If you look at the weekly time frame chart, prices trade above profile resistance. It's oscillator and change line, no topping signal, so it wants to move higher. So what's stopping this caboose out there? Well, first you got the daily TD9 count top, and you also have the monthly profile resistance level at 53.96 out there. So at this stage here, you've got a TD9 count bottom. I would say the work to the downside is done, Fletch. If you want to add to your position, now would be a good time to do that, generally speaking. And if we're to close below 52.22, and then what I just said is hogwash. But that's what we do. You're looking for the high probability. But monthly looks pretty good except for 53.96. Weekly looks good. We know it's waiting for the daily and the weekly out there. So, Fletch, I hope that helps you out. Dan wanted to take a look at KZIA out here. Let's get that up on our screen. KZIA is trading out, Dan, at the price point of $6.34. It has found support at the top of its daily profile, which is 611. So watch that. No bottoming signal. That could be a bottom per se, but boy, you'd sure prefer to see something more than just that. You've had just a couple of one-day rallies out here, maybe a two-day rally recently. So it looks to me more like downside pressure. But support here, it's traded. It's found support at the top of its weekly profile as well. That's at 564. The monthly, your resistance level is 1280. That was the TD9 count breakdown resistance area out there. So I think you just got to watch 611, and you'd prefer to see this go make a nice TD9 count bottom pattern between tomorrow and Tuesday of next week. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. The ticker symbol that we're looking at here is MCRB. And on a daily time frame, this formed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom pattern. Prices trade above profile resistance out here. We just had a 3-day rally. This typically pulls back after when I say a 3-day rally, I'm referring to consecutive higher close. So we're looking at the very bottom panel of my screen out here. It usually does rallies of 3 to 4 days out there. So pull back, not a big deal. Now, the big deal about the pullback really comes from the weekly chart. Now, the weekly chart formed wow, holy cow. So this thing, look at this little puppy. So this thing has broken, has moved all the way back to, Dan, is this real? This breakout out here from back in 2023, August of 2023, runs from 466 to 105.60 out there with 10 million shares. Well, in any event, if we look at where we're at currently, the issue that I was really going to point to, reverse. Okay, well, but I should have taken that into consideration at this stage here. Anyways, if we take a look at the issue that we're really dealing with at this moment in time, it's the bottom of that weekly profile. So TD9 count pattern got negated immediately, May 9th out here. So the real key level that you want to see this thing clear is a close above 897, at least our trade above that. So that's why the daily stopped where it did. The monthly time frame chart not really assisting us at this moment in time. Not that I see any kind of a bottom pattern out there in the monthly, which I don't, but profile prices trading below profile support out here. So I think it's all going to be about the bottom of that weekly profile. That's what's going to give you your information. That's at 897. So I hope that helps you out with MCRB. And as always, thanks for your request. Let's go on to the next one. This comes in from Hector and Patty. They'd like to take a look at AZZ out here and looking for support and resistance. So on a daily time frame, prices now trading above daily profile resistance that formed 2 days ago. And that profile was at 91.47 out there. So now that price is trading above that, and as long as it holds that, Hector, the next resistance level would be 94.19. Now, it's always possible that old resistance can become support. So the support level would be at your oscillator and change line, which is at 91.27. That's very close to the 91.47 top of its profile. So that's the daily time frame. Nice TD9 count bottom, ought to make its way to 94.19. The weekly time frame chart is in agreement with that, and the reason is because price is trading above profile resistance and a screen oscillator and change line. So we'll call support here basically between 90.14 and 91.30. Resistance being its Rhodes Momentum Indicator high from February 21st. That high is at 99.49. As price approaches 94.27, you'd like to see it do it with more than 867,000 shares. Monthly time frame, prices trading above profile resistance, so that could be support, 88.67. Its next resistance is its Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, same price point, 99.49 out there. So that's what I see for AZZ. Looks like it wants to rally further. You've got your next resistance level really at 94.19, and then you get to the weekly and the monthly, basically what looks like it's all-time high out there. So hope that helps you out. Hector and Patty, as always, thanks for writing in. LB wants to take a look at USAS out there. USAS is trading out at 83 cents. It's trading with inside its daily profile. The daily profile has support at 71 cents and resistance at 88. The weekly time frame chart pulled back a couple of days ago, tested and rejected that green oscillator and change line. It remains bullish, the weekly time frame. The daily time frame is bullish. The monthly time frame is bullish, and that price 2 months ago closed above its TD9 count breakdown resistance area at 60. Same thing last month, and this month we're at 82 cents. So USAS continues to want to move higher. You're just dealing with with that profile resistance level, Lee, at the 88-cent area. And again, you've got support at about 71 cents out there. Nitram inside the Tiger's Den wants to take the Carmel out there. CRML is a ticker symbol. Who doesn't like a caramel? Well, if you take a look at Carmel's, or I don't know what the actual name of this instrument is, but it's CRML, it is traded above profile resistance at 313, Nitram. You'd love to see it close above that today. That would be a bullish signal. Also happens to be trading into a swing point from a couple of days ago, June 16th, 41 million shares being traded that day. This day, today, we're only at 5 million shares. So you're moving into a swing point with lighter volume out there. Nonetheless, it should get up and test that level as long as price remains above $3.13 out here. If you look at the weekly time frame chart, your next resistance level is 928. Support is down at about the $1.85 area. Monthly time frame, not enough data to provide us with any kind of profile information, but we are trading above last month's high. So CRML looks like it wants to rally. No idea what it's going to do when it takes on the high from June 16th at 358, but if price can close above that, that would be a beautiful thing. Dennis writes in, and he would like to, Dennis in West Palm Beach, would like to take a look at Facebook, otherwise known as Meta out here, META. And Meta right now is trading out at $720. It is trading above the top of its daily profile. It's trading above its green oscillator and change line. It does have a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. That would require a bearish reversal candle to identify a top. Short of that, price should continue to move higher. Move higher to where? I'd say it wants to move higher into its all-time high. That's the swing point from February 14th on a weekly basis. The low there, 710.04. We're trading inside that right now at 720. The volume on that weekly candle, 67 million shares. This volume, 39 million shares. So we're coming in with lighter volume. Facebook, or Meta, much like the XLK, a couple of other Qs, a couple of other instruments we've looked at, is going to go ahead and form a TD9 count top this week. That says watch the daily time frame, because if the daily time frame generates a bearish reversal candle, confirms Rhodes momentum indicator top, we're likely to see a retracement. I would have to say a retracement of at least 3 days out there. But we don't have that signal just yet. And it may be the TD9 count top doesn't actually complete until next week. Well, we know it won't complete until next week, but I mean the high really may not come until next week out there. That's what we see when we take a look at Meta out there, Dennis. So hope that helps you out. Nicholas wrote in and would like to take a look at ticker symbol ABSI. ABSI is trading below profile support. Profile support is at 274. So what else are we doing here on a daily time frame? The daily does have a TD9 count bottom in place. It's trading into a swing point from May 23rd. That swing point had volume of 2 million shares. So far, in 2 hours of trading, we've done 1.5 million shares. Price is pulling back with volume. Nicholas, if price closes today below 268, we're 269. If it closes below 268, that's telling you it wants to at least go target and test the low of 256. Maybe it wants to take it out. If it rejects it, when we close above 268, that tells us that we'll be back down to at least test the 268 level, because you are pushing into that swing point with volume. Weekly time frame for ABSI does not look good. It's trading below its red oscillator change line, and profile support says it wants lower price, and the monthly is trading below profile support as well. Everything here is pointing to lower price for ticker symbol ABSI. How about that, folks? We've gone through about 14, 15, maybe 16 instruments. I've only got one left. So if I haven't covered something you'd like me to look at and you're inside the den, please go ahead and post it in there, and Steve will be happy to get to it. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're looking at ticker symbol XPEV. It is the weekly time frame chart that seems to be driving things. The weekly time frame chart is the one that formed the top. That was the TD9 count top that formed back on March 14th out there. Price is trading with inside its profile, below its green oscillator and change line. It has lost its momentum. Odds favor that price will move back towards 1780. Below 1780, we'd be looking at 1597 to 1669. We've got no daily topping pattern, bottoming pattern, or anything along those lines. On a monthly basis, prices trading with inside 1690. No, the top of its profile formed a new profile below price. That's a bullish signal, but support still may be hit, and that'd be the 1690 level out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at XPEV. That was for GTE. Mohammed would like to take a look at ticker symbol COHR. So let's pull that up on our screen out here, see what we can find. And there we go. So COHR having a nice day out here. It is trading above profile and oscillator and change line resistance. No topping patterns that are in play out here. Should continue to move higher. Weekly chart seconds that motion because price is now trading above the center of its profile. It wants to go target the top of its profile. And that's up at 97.97. The monthly chart says I'm okay with that, but first you have to clear my sellers. And the sellers on the monthly time frame are at 89.02. We're trading at 88.69. So you're running into an area out here, Mohammed, of perhaps a little bit of selling out there coming from your monthly time frame profile level. But if you can get through that area, then the weekly chart says I get up to 98.18. So daily looks good. Weekly looks good. The monthly looks good. It's just that you got to deal with those sellers and buyers. But at this stage here, most of the sellers that exist at the center of that profile. So I hope that helps you out with regard to COHR. You also had an interest in taking a look at EXEL. So let's put Excel up on our screen out here, see what it is doing. Trading out at 43.19. It is trading back inside its daily profile. Below its daily oscillator and change line. Now, that suggests lower price. However, And its profile, it's a bullish structure profile, and this may be the price target, Mohammed, 40.83 to 41.80. But before price can get down there, you need to see price close below its weekly oscillator and change line, and that is currently at 42.57. I do not have a weekly topping pattern out here. I do not have a daily. Well, yesterday may have given you a sell the D point signal. Hold on, let's see it. Pull this back even further. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can find a sell the D point pattern. Confirm with that yesterday's bear sash candle out here. But again, you've got bullish structured profile support between 40.83 and 41.80 out there. Again, watch that weekly green oscillator and change on about the 42.57 level. So, Mohammed, that's all I've got for you. Oh, you got a monthly basis, by the way. This does have a completed TD9 count top. So if this thing is really going to get moving to the upside, you need to close above last month's high of 48.85. That becomes your real key resistance point out here in ticker symbol EXEL. Now, that was long-term, short-term type time frames out there. So, Mohammed, hope that helps you out. And as always, thanks so much for your request. Now, I believe I've gone through everything. Just checking the phone out here. Make sure I have not overlooked anything. Not that I see at the moment. So we've got about 4 minutes just to kind of cruise around and take a look at what's going on. So what do we want to cruise around and take a look at? Well, I'll share with you what we really want to do. We want to see what's going on with those equal weighted ETFs, don't we? I don't know. Why do you want to do that, Steve-O? Because it's the equal weighted ETFs that typically point the direction of the market. And here in lies the concern that goes with those weekly TD9 count tops. What do you mean, Stevie? Okay, the top portion is a daily equal weighted ETF for the weighted ETF that is below it. So you got QQEW, that's the equal weighted ETF for the Qs. All 102 or 4 instruments inside the Qs get the exact same weighting. The QQQ does not get the same weighting. The top 10 represent 50% or so of the weighting inside the entire index. So you got the RSP for the S&P, the SPY down below, EDOW up top, DIA. Now, in the Qs, the SPYs, and the Dow Diamonds, no topping patterns in place whatsoever. If we look at that, Steve would say, we're going higher. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's a caution sign out there. And that caution sign is coming from the combination of the weekly TD9 count tops and the daily equal weighted tops. Show me, Stevie. Show me more. Well, if we look at the QQEW for yesterday, it formed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It did it with a dark cloud covered candle. However, what has not taken place is price is still above resistance, 133.89. That happens to be the top of its profile, and it's trading right now at its oscillator and change line, 134.80. We're printing at 130.84 out there. Look, if price takes out closes above yesterday's high, 135.25, that pattern gets negated. But right now, you've got a top on the QQEW. You have a top inside the RSP. That's the equal weighted version for the S&P 500. What is that top? A TD9 count top. What's required to negate that? Excellent question. It's 180.18. You got to close above 180.18. The close on the trading day of June 24th, 180.18. That did not negate the pattern. So you have a top inside the equal weighted S&P, the RSP. You got a top inside the QQEW. That's the equal weight for the Qs. And you still have a top, a TD9 count top, inside the equal weight for the Dow. It takes a close above 37.63 to negate that signal. So this is really where the caution is coming from. It is coming from those equal weighted ETFs out there. It's going to be interesting for you and I to really track this, but that is the best set of signals that suggest caution are really coming from the equal weighted ETFs and then the weekly. Now, somebody might ask the question, so I'll ask it of myself. What's it look like? I'm going to have to switch charts out here because if I hit this one tab, it's going to get to a different screen. That's going to take some time. I'm going to go back, and what we're going to look at out here is we are going to look at the QQEW and see what its weekly and monthly signals are suggesting to us. So let's get those charts here popular. It'll take just a moment. Again, the daily's got that confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. What are we doing on the weekly time frame? The weekly time frame does not have any kind of topping signal. It is simply trading into a swing point from back on the trading week of February 21st. The volume there was 336,000 shares. This week so far, 214. So we're just coming into a swing for with light volume. No topping signal. We got a wave number 7 signal on the. I'm going to take that back. No topping signal on the monthly time frame for the QQEW. So the daily would be suggesting to you and I, this might be just a short-term pullback out there. How about the RSP, the equal weight for the S&P 500? What's this weekly? What is this monthly time frame charts communicating to you and I? Well, we're about to find out here. Remember, this has got a wave number 7 and a TD9 count topping pattern out here. It's the TD9 count top that I'm most interested in. The weekly chart is trading above profile resistance, the screen oscillator and change line, suggesting a rally towards 183.02, and the monthly is its consolidation with inside its profile. So this too is suggesting, just perhaps a short-term pullback out there, and so that's what's going on with those two instruments. They don't have enough time really to put up the EDOW out there. So CFLT is a request CFLT. Let's see if this will populate here. And if not, it will populate. It just might not be till we're back from break. So CFLT, just a consolidation with inside its daily profile, 2234 to 2520. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
No idea what happened there. Sorry about that, but I think we're back live. So the TD9 counts, and hopefully it's still posted inside the den. Is my chart still posted? It is. So you're looking at the 2-hour time frame charts. The ES, the NQ, and the YM at 12 noon will each confirm TD9 count tops. At 2 p.m., those patterns will complete. The Russell 2000's got a mind of its own. So just pay attention to the 2-hour time frame charts for those instruments. They could be signaling to us that we're getting ready for some type of retracement. If I go take a look at the intraday charts, more intraday time frame charts, for example, for the NQ, which has been the leader to the upside, let's see what it is doing for its other intraday time periods out here. 10-minute chart is bullish. 15-minute chart is bullish. 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart needs a close above. 22,611.75 to negate its Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Bullish on the 16-minute time frame chart. It's negating a TD9 count top out there. So it's just a 2-hour time frame chart really that's got that topping signal that might not be enough to slow the rally down. So that's the best that I've got for you today. Stay tuned for all the great programming out there. I will look forward to being with you tomorrow at 11 a.m. sharp. In the meantime, please have a terrific Thursday. Thanks for joining us. Be safe out there and have a great day.